Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Thank you so much for being here today. Hope you're doing well. I've got a topic today that I hope is of interest to you. I do makeup reviews and tutorials for our 60andMe community, women over 60 who are really trying to explore new makeup techniques, products, and I try to do tutorials and reviews on things I think will be of value to older skin. My skin is 72 years old. It's got all the normal things that you would expect in terms of wrinkles and age spots and dry skin. And I want to talk to you today, though, about 10 things that I have discovered will have helped me when applying my makeup that just make my skin look a little bit brighter and more hydrated, and also that the makeup doesn't, set in the fine lines and wrinkles. And just want to share those 10 different things with you, and I'll kind of explain them as I go through this makeup application. So the first thing I have done is put on my primer. It's a primer, it's a facial serum. It's called Growing Younger Gracefully. If you've been watching my channel for years, you know that this has been my my go-to. I love it. It's a beautiful product, and it just sets my skin, gives it the hydration that it needs. So I would suggest that you start your makeup routine with some really lovely moisturizer or facial serum, and then if you feel like you need additional coverage for your for open pores, use a primer. But I'm not going to use a primer today. I'm going to just start with my my makeup application. But that's the first thing. Use some kind of a hydrating, moisturizing product on your skin first. The second thing is to use a foundation that is hydrating, and this one I'm going to use is by Radiant Cosmetics, Radiant Professional. They are a wonderful company. I've been using this makeup for years. It's a foundation and serum. It's called Wonderlight, and for me, this is a perfect color for me. It's just got that radiance that I want from my foundation, and so I'm going to apply that onto my skin and start this this palette, this foundation going. I'm putting onto my little foundation palette here that I made. Where's my brush? Okay, so I'm going to put this on. It's a beautiful color. This is I think it's called Cool Beige. And as soon as I start to apply it, I see my age spot disappears. And now I'm going to make a point here of saying that I'm not putting it under my eyes. This is one of my new discoveries, and I'm honestly, it's changed everything that I do with my makeup. I just do not put that foundation right up against my eyes. But I'm going to blend this in easily. It's so smooth and shiny. I love it. Can you see the difference already? And I'm using a flat-tipped foundation brush, which is really lovely. Okay, so I'm going to put some on my forehead as well. I'll just put it over my brows. That's not a problem. It's the under eyes, the concealer effect of foundation, that if you scoop it under your eyes as well. So when you apply your foundation, just go slightly underneath your eyes. Okay, where's my mirror? Ah, there it is. Let me just check and make sure I got everything even. Okay. Isn't that an amazing foundation? I love it, and it's affordable. It's from Radiant Cosmetics. You can get it online. They're actually a Greek company. I purchased it when I was on holiday by chance, and it became my absolute favorite foundation. Can you see how glowy that is? Okay, so that's another thing that I think number 2 is to make sure that you're using a foundation that for your skin gives you a radiant glow rather than a matte finish. A lot of women love that full coverage matte finish, but I think as we get older, it's a nice idea to kind of, sort of smooth that out with a more radiant look. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back into under my eyes in a second, but for now, that's enough foundation. Now, in terms of, I always put blush on next because I just like having color on my face. I'm using a cream product, and this is the third thing to say. Use, if you can, and if you feel like trying it, a cream blush product. I'm using the one from Honest Beauty. It's the color Pink Peony, and it's become my go-to favorite for blush. I do have other powdered blushes that I love, but this one for me really works best. And if I can open it, I'll be in a good start. Okay, so I'm going to use a blush brush. And instead of using my fingers, I prefer to just dab it in, not using any bronzer. I'm just going to put this blush on. If you're going to use a bronzer, you could use a cream one too. Now this is going to look a little bit bright, But the thing about cream blushes is that they kind of blend in, and you can kind of just gently work them in. Go up above your eye, just keep it going that way. Everything is going upwards. And except if you are doing filming like I am, I always put a little bit on the cheek, on the apple of the cheek, because that's what you're seeing, that's what you're looking at. So let me just put this other side on. I love this particular blush. I think it's such a pretty color. It's kind of peachy pink, and I love it. So I'm going to look at my mirror here to make sure I'm blending it properly. Yeah, now this is turning out to be a little brighter than I expected, but that's okay. We can use my foundation brush to smooth it. And that is the nice thing about cream, is that you actually can do that. If you find that you've maybe gone a little bit over your color that you want to go, you can just gently go back in with your foundation brush and just smooth it out. Okay, so that's blush. I think this blush, something about blush that just lightens the whole face. So that's a good start. So blush, cream product, that's the next point. In terms of my eyes, now I've got a couple of ideas here that I want to share with you. I picked up, if I can find it where it is here, I've got a product that is for under eyes, and it's by Gosh. I picked it up on a sale. It was just kind of there, and I never had used Gosh products before. It's a European brand, but it's called Under Eye Primer. And it's a color, it's got a little bit of a color to it. This particular one is called Chameleon. I don't actually know whether it had other colors. I'm just trying to open it here. I'm having trouble with my fingers. Okay, so let's see. There's what it looks like. It looks like a concealer, but it's actually quite light colored. And it's an under eye primer. And if you just press that under your eye, it's not going to conceal. It's going to give you that kind of creamy finish. I kind of press it in gently. But it does give a little bit of coverage, can you see? So that you're not completely ignoring that part of your eye, underneath your eye, but you're kind of pressing in the wrinkles and the little crease lines. And I know Trinity London does something called Miracle Blur, which is a similar idea. It's a little bit of a waxy consistency, but it does give you a little bit under the eyes that gives it the same color as your foundation. And I think personally, that's all I need. You know, I've tried different concealers, all kinds, you know, the Maybelline products, the Instant Age Rewind is lovely. But again, it's a concealer. And it just, for me, after some hours, clings to the lines under my eyes, which it isn't for me a comfortable look. So that's what I do with my under eyes. I just literally put a bit of this under eye concealer, under eye primer, I should say, underneath, and let it be. Just let it be at peace. Next thing is my eyebrows. So that's the fourth thing, is the concealer under the eyes. The next thing is eyebrows. Now I don't have, my eyebrows are disappearing. This one's getting smaller by the day. One's higher than the other. You know, I'm just typical. I mean, this is what happens when you get older. I mean, not even young people are dealing with uneven eyebrows. So it's not, you know, a mystery, but there are some things you can do. And here's one that I would like to share. I've never used a pencil because I think a pencil just makes it a bit too much of a sharp line. But I found a brow product, which is a cream. It's actually by e.l.f. And it's in a little pot. I think it's called eyeliner and brow. It's a joint product, so you can use it as a liner and a brow brush as well. So I'm going to use this Real Techniques brush, which has got a little spoolie on one side, if I can find it here, a spoolie on one side and a eyeliner brush on the other side. Okay, Margaret, where did you put it? I see her. I just meditate on it. It appears. It comes to me. I've got so many things here on my desk. Okay, so this is the cream. This is the end. Can you see how it's shaped? Angled, and a spoolie. Now, I would kind of start off by just literally loosening up my eyebrows so I can see what I'm working with. And then I would dab a bit of this into the cream with this end of the brush. And I'm going to get my mirror because I really need help doing this so I get the even line. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, I'm going to try to even this one out. It just needs a bit more texture, actual color right there. And this is such a great little brush to work with because it just goes exactly where you want. And if you can take your eyebrow and just bring it out to the edge, but not down. Just go out as far as you can in a straight line, and then just kind of fill in the rest of this brow. Okay, can you see already what a difference that makes? And then I'm going to go on the other side with a little bit that's left on the brush, because this eyebrow doesn't need quite so much. And I'm going to just, again, go out to the side and just fill this little bit in at the front. Okay, can you see? So that actually, for me, is about all that I need to do with these eyebrows of mine, and still look natural. There's one thing I would add here is a CoverGirl product. It's a eyebrow glow gel with a little teeny brush, and I would then put this on afterwards, just like this, just to loosen up the lid, the lashes, or the eyebrows, so they don't look so, sort of painted on. See what the difference that makes? Just bring it up just a little bit, and then over. Okay. So that was my next point, really, is to use a brow gel with your eyebrows, so that anything you put on in terms of coloring and shaping is going to make your eyebrows look a little bit alive, so you're not looking like it's completely flat. So that's the eyebrow tip. The next thing then will be, let's do eyes next, because I think, my eyes are my favorite thing to play with. There's so many cool products and it's lots of fun. But what I'm going to do first is put a base on my eyes. Now, I've got an excellent product that I purchased a while ago, and I swear by it. It's by Mario. It's called Eye Prep and Set. And it's got two concealers and a powder. Now, I never use the powder for the reason that we talked about earlier. My eyes just are a little, crepey, and I don't want to add to that with powder. So I'm going to take there's two colors. One is a lighter and dark one, but I'm going to use I kind of mix them up usually and put them on my eye. And this does give me a nice base. It's a really lovely product. It was well worth the investment. I think it was about $25, but I really like it. So just apply it with your finger. Can you see what that's done? It just sort of evens out the tone on your eyebrow, eyelid. Okay, so that's eyelids, kind of prepared. And it's got a little bit of a tacky feeling to it, but I kind of like that. I think it gives you a sense that you can put something on it and it's not going to fall apart. But bring it right up under your eyebrow. And I'm just going to do one little thing while I'm here. I see this. It's great when you look in the mirror, you can see all the things you didn't quite finish. Okay, so that's the eye prep. Now I'm going to use, show you how I'm going to do eyes in a different way. I've been spending a lot of time looking at bloggers online, younger bloggers who do this whole wonderful thing with eyeshadows. They put the base coat on, then they put the transition line, and then they put the shading at the edge, a little dark, and then they blend it in. I just did that for months and months and months, and did lots of presentations on these reviews, and thought, it's just not working for me. Putting things up on the transition area of between the, that brow bone there and the eye, and then darkening on the edges and smudging. I started now just using not one color, because I'm going to play with different colors, but just on the lid. Now I could do, for example, my very favorite eyeshadow of all time is Toasted by Urban Decay. It's a beautiful color. I could just use that just on my eye, and it would be perfect. Just put it on, and then that's it. But I'm going to play today with a little palette that I bought from Natasha Denona. It's a really sweet package. It's called Zendo. She does a whole group of these very small little mini palettes. This one's called Zendo. It's about $25. I really didn't want to spend that much on a small palette, but I've loved this and I've used it so much. I'm really happy that I got it. So I'm going to play with that. But what I'm going to do first, before I even apply shadow, is put a cream. After I've done this base, I'm going to put a little cream product on, and it's going to be my Rose Gold by Charlotte Tilbury. The top here's the top. It's a nice little pot. And I'm going to place some of this beautiful rose gold just on the lid. Now this, again, would be a look that you could just walk out with, just with this on, if you wanted to. But I'm going to use it as kind of a little bit of a base for the eyelid, on which I'm going to apply the other shadow. But this is, as a cream, this product line is fabulous. If you don't have a desire to spend that much on a cream eyeshadow product. This is about $35. You can use Kiko does a really nice one. Laura Mercier is also a little bit more expensive. I think L'Oreal does some cream eyeshadows, but just something that you can put on to get started. And then I'm going to take my Natasha Denona Zendo package, eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to show you the colors. Now, I'm going to try to play with most of these except for the one at the end here. I'm going to play with these ones here. But the secret, and here's the technique that I want to share with you, is don't put it all over your eye. Just focus on the eyelid. And actually, to be honest with you, when I found at the end of the day, when I actually, or end of the day after a few hours later, I find that it's kind of smudged up there anyway, and it's actually given the kind of a nice look by moving itself just a little bit up. But I'm going to start out by putting this this darker color. It's like a matte. It's like a kind of a browny corally color. It's not light. It's actually got a bit of color to it. So I'm going to just place that on the eyelid. Okay. Now, that may look a little bit dark to you, and it is. But as you can see, I am just placing it on the lid. On my eyelid, that's it. And my mirror is somewhere. I'm gonna have a quick look here. And I'm using a very, very fluffy brush, and I'm just taking it gently all over the lid. And it's a very pretty color, actually. And then I'm going to go in with the, there's a peachy color, which is a bit more of a shimmer, but not really. I'm going to just put that, actually I should use another brush. I'd use a dark, firmer brush. This one here. It's a Real Techniques as well. And then I'm going to just place this again on the lid. I think that the idea for me of just placing shadow on the lid has changed everything. And it makes it just more fun. You know, not trying to shade and get everything in straight lines and whatever. It's just, you just play with it. Isn't that pretty? I think that color. And so you're actually getting like a couple of different colors on top of each other, but you are still just using really one color, one application. And I think this is really pretty. It's glowy. I love it. Her shadows are great. They really blend together beautifully. Okay, and try a little teeny bit more to make it an even color. Wow, it's really, really lovely. Part of my challenge is my light here. I'm getting more light on one side of my face, I think, so. Okay, so that's that. And then what I'm going to do is take, there's a beautiful green shade right here, and I'm going to take another little brush and play with that. Just a tiny, tiny bit. So you can do fun things with shadow. You can put different colors together and mix and match it, but you're just not trying to do too much. And I find if I put that green just right there and kind of blend it in with the peach, isn't that pretty? I love it. Green is just a great color. It's a very on trend at the moment. Lots of people are doing wonderful palettes with green. So I'm going to. Okay, so that's kind of the look. I'm going to do a bit more blending here. Okay, let's find a fluffy brush and blend. And that it doesn't matter if you pull it, if you sort of not accidentally, but you just gently go above the line. It's not just not that far up. It's just keeping it on the lid. Okay. All right, I think this is really pretty, but you get the idea, and I think that's the technique tip is just to keep it right on the lid. Okay. And then what I might do now is take that light color from the Mario palette and just put it on the underneath the eye, just so you have something kind of continuing that color between the lid and the brow. There. I'm just gonna. Okay, so that's it. That's the eyes. I love putting eye makeup on. I spend too much time on it, I think. But the next thing, which I think is number 5, is then once you've done your eyes and you put your mascara on, put out your curler, do your curling of your eyelashes. I know that some people don't like to do this. There's some like a heated eyelash curlers that are maybe not so intimidating, because you have to be careful when you're doing this. But if you can do it, curl your eyelashes. It will make such a difference. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just hold it for a couple of seconds, pressing. Yeah, I've done this so many times now. It isn't a problem for me, but I know some people don't like this, but honestly, it makes all the difference in the world. You can just see it. As soon as you do it, you can see the difference. Okay, so let me just try this other side. Whoops. Gotta position it properly or you end up getting a dent in your eyelashes. Okay. Okay, so that's the next thing. Curl your eyelashes if you can. It makes such a difference. And I'm going to use my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, my go-to eye mascara, and apply. Honestly, it makes such a, you can actually see your lashes. It's incredible. And this usually just takes one coat. It's just a beautiful, beautiful mascara. You see the difference? It's lovely. Okay, let me just do the other side. So that's the next tip. Curling your eyelashes. Simple, simple things. They're just, very small. Make a difference. I thought I got some on my eyebrow there, or my eyelid. Okay. Let's just get the end the same here. Okay. So that's eyes. And I think that honestly, just doing those couple of things, keeping the eyeshadow on the lid and using your curler and a good quality mascara makes all the difference. So finally, I'm going to do lips. Now, there's so many different lip products out there today that I just adore. But one that I've fallen in love with and I'm going to use as my lip liner is this Maybelline crayon. I've got these in every color under the sun. They've got a beautiful tip and a sharpener, so you can keep that tip perfect for lining, as well as using it all over your lips. This is great when we're wearing a mask because it's not matte, but it stays on. So you really feel like you can, just don't worry about having absolutely no color on your lips. This will stay with you. But I'm using it as a liner today. And then I'm going to show you my other technique tip with lipstick. So I will now. See what a nice shape that starts to give you? So that's the outline with the crayon. You could fill it all in your lips if you want, but I'm going to put some lipstick on and tell you another tip. And that is mixing your lipsticks. You go through your life just trying to find the perfect color for your mouth. And, I actually quite love this very bright pink. Now, it's not really quite what I'm doing with the rest of my makeup, but I'm going to put it on because it's Kiko, and it's called they're in numbers. I think it's 114. And I'm going to put that on because I want to have something underneath that's kind of bright and going to stay on. And this is a really cool color. It's a very summery color, very bright. Okay, so that's super pink. And I look at that and I think, it's not quite what I'm trying to get at here. I want to do something a bit more peachy. So I use another product which is the Kiko's, it's kind of an orangey, it's a peachy color. It's number, what is this number? I think it's 002 or 003. And I will put that on top. And that's the secret. That's the technique I wanted to share, is that just go ahead and mix and match lipsticks, because you will find the perfect color if you do that. Don't feel like you have to just wear the color that's in the tube. So, okay. And sometimes you'll find there's like a matte lipstick that really gives you a lovely color that you want to put underneath, and then you can put on a lighter, more satin color that over the top and mix it together. Kind of loosens up the matte lipstick and gives you that perfect combination. You might even, with this one, I haven't got one with me, but put some like a frosted lipstick on top of it. So that's my lips. I really, really like that. Now, I'm just checking my notes to make sure I haven't forgot. Oh, there is one other thing, a cream highlighter. I don't normally wear highlighters. I just don't for my face. They kind of bring attention to that part of my face where the wrinkles are. But I discovered that there's a beautiful product by Flower Beauty, and it's called Day Glow, and it's a highlighting glaze, and it's a cream. So I put this on. I'm going to just rub it on, and it's kind of like if you've ever used that e.l.f. putty primer. It's got that kind of sticky tactile, but when you put it on, it doesn't do anything like that. Just gently put it on like this. You can see the color starting to form there, but it's cream. So it doesn't, stick to the wrinkles or the lines. It just kind of gives you a nice, gentle glow above your cheeks. And I just think it looks really, really pretty. Flower Beauty has some great, great products. I've really enjoyed it. Now, in fact, if you wanted to use a powder on top of this, Flower Beauty does a great powder. And also, I've got one by Rimmel that I use a lot. And it's a matte powder, but doesn't look like a matte powder. But the final tip about powders is if you're going to use powders, use a big brush. And I've got a few here, like, someone that's got a very big brush so you can apply the powder without it being, sort of gathering around the foundation. So I'm not going to use powder today. I want to keep the cream look, and I think it looks really radiant and nice. I'm making sure there's nothing else. There is eyeliner if you want to use that. I'm going to mention that. I didn't bring any examples, but tight lining underneath your eye rather than along the top is a good idea, because then you don't have to worry about that straight line challenge. You can just literally put the eyeliner on the inside of your eye, the rim. And that's another tip to consider. But I hope that you have found these useful ideas. I mean, there's certainly ones that I have kind of used to change my whole way of putting makeup on. I think the big ones were the brows, the cream blush and the cream products in general, and also the lipstick combinations, but most of all, the eyes. Just using one color or a tonal color combination just on the eyelids, and don't worry about trying to do the transitions, lines and the smudging on the end, the smoky eye. Yes, do a smoky eye if you want to. I totally love that myself, but I think that for me, just doing it this way has simplified so much of the application. So if you've got some tips and tricks you'd like to share with us, our community of older women who still love makeup and want to get the best out of the beauty products that are available, just please leave them in the comment section below. I really do appreciate you being here and playing with me with makeup. That's all we do here, and I hope that you find joy in it. And that's the whole point of it, is to make you smile. So have a fabulous day wherever you are, and stay tuned for the next beauty, fashion, makeup video, and also check out our website for all kinds of other articles on topics of value to women over 60. Thanks again for being here, everybody. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye for now.